Good evening, Waynesboro and surrounding communities. The time is now 2020, past time for the weekly Neighborhood Readiness Net of Blackskye Community Radio Association. Please accept my apologies for the delay. Just walked in the door, but we're ready to get started now. So this is WRWQ569. My name is Derek, and per my usual, I am operating from the north end of Waynesboro. I will be your net control station for this evening's net. The Neighborhood Readiness Net is held every Monday at 2000 hours on frequency 462.650, which is GMRS channel 19, now with a PL tone of 127.3. More on that later in the net. This is a relaxed but directed net. All traffic should be passed through net control. The purpose of this net is to share general announcements related to the organization and local communities, to monitor repeater coverage and community participation, and to provide an opportunity for practice using your radio and communicating in a coordinated manner. Preparation before response is a key tenet of emergency preparedness, which is one of the main reasons why we hold this net weekly. So knowing how to use your radio and related equipment and to communicate with it before the need arises is paramount to helping ensure positive outcomes during an emergency. The Neighborhood Readiness Net is always an open net, so check-ins from all licensed GMRS users are welcome regardless of your location. Check-ins will be called by community, so please hold until your community is called to check in. When checking in, please give your call sign and first name. If you only wish to check in and don't have comments for the traffic portion of the net, please say in and out or no traffic. At this time, we'll open up check-in starting with Waynesboro. Any stations on air in Waynesboro wishing to check in, please call now.
WRTL 237, Jason.
WSIY 875, Eric.
KRLY 337, Mike.
All right, I got 237 Jason, 875 Eric, 337 Mike. You guys are sounding wonderful this evening coming into the repeater. Good signal on all of you. Any other stations from Waynesboro, please call now. Rouserville and any Wayne Heights stations, please call now. Second call for any Rouserville or Wayne Heights stations. Zollingner area stations, please call now. Second call is Zollingner. Nothing heard. Moving on to stations in Quincy Township and Mont Alto. Any Quincy Township or Mont Alto station, please call now for your check-in. And second call, Quincy and Mont Alto. Greencastle Station. Anyone in Greencastle wishing to check in, please call now. Latersburg and Smithsburg, Maryland. Anyone Latersburg, Smithsburg, Maryland wishing to check into the net this evening, please call now. And second call, Latersburg and Smithsburg. And lastly, any other communities not called or any late check-ins, please call now.
WSBX 753, Baltimore traffic.
Good evening, Bob. Got you checked in, 753. Any other stations before we move on? Hearing any more check-ins, we'll move on to the traffic portion of the net. Check-ins will be called in the order received, so whatever comments you may have, any news or announcements, just share with the group. On behalf of the organization, Blackskye Community Radio Association, I think two things here to pass along to everybody. Number one is, the big thing is the change of our DCS tone to the PL tone of 127.3. That change has been made on our social media website and other websites such as mygmrs.com and Repeater Book. So that change has been put out there. But if you hear anyone have any issues accessing a repeater, just please let them know of the change. I did detail the reason for the change in some of our Facebook posts, but in case you haven't had a chance to see that yet, there was some noise issue I was noticing on some lower-end radios, specifically the HA1G GMRS radio. I always mess up the name of it, so Eric, you might have to help me with pronunciation. Alucent, something like that. It's a Radivis brand radio. But anyway, it was producing a sharp hiss sound, which I believe the DCS tone was venturing over into the voice part of the frequency, and that was coming across as a background hiss. There was an adjustment I could have attempted, but I wasn't able to re-download the software from Motorola to make that change. So the PL tone change worked, so I just left good enough alone, and it did resolve the noise issue. So if you're using the HA1G radio, or if you've noticed the background hiss on other lower-end model radios, you should be noticing some improved audio coming through your radio. That wasn't so much of an issue with the higher-end radios. Their circuitry is much more advanced than the $20, $30 radios, and they're able to filter out a lot better. So that was some background information for everyone, just so you know why that change was made, and I apologize for any inconvenience. It's always a bit of a pain in the butt to have to reprogram a new tone into your radio, but should be the last time we gotta make that change. And then the second thing I have is I made a venture up to the new repeater site, which is Mount Dunlop or the Blue Ridge Fire Tower, where the new repeater site will be commissioned here, hopefully in the somewhat near future, just to do a preliminary site survey, mainly to see what length of 7/8-inch hardline will need to be ordered, so we can get that ordered and on the way. That's really the biggest purchase item left. That's going to run about $700, $800 for that. But then once that's on hand, just the miscellaneous hardware to get the antenna mounted up on the actual tower site. And then, like I said previously, we already have the Motorola MTR 3000 repeater, the antenna. We got the duplexer that tuned up extremely well. This duplexer is much higher quality than the one currently in place. It has virtually zero insertion loss, so it's going to really radiate the power out to the antenna, which is what we're looking for. So I got a good feeling that it's going to be a really good repeater site, and everyone using the handheld radios, you should get full quieting into your radio once the new repeater site goes online. Right now, I know handheld radios, they really struggle to get into the repeater. Again, it's not a high elevation site, so it's maybe 800 feet above sea level. It's a 65-foot tower, just 5 miles outside of Waynesboro. But if you're on a mobile or base station, I mean, you get into the repeater much better. Like, I'm on a base station right now, but handhelds, unfortunately, currently struggle, so we're looking to remedy that once we get the new site online. And then I'll throw a third thing out there as well. Once we commission the new site, we are going to get some T-shirts made just commemorating our first wide area signal repeater site with the historic Blue Ridge Fire Tower. And then we're going to put Washington Township as a sponsor on the back, since they were gracious enough to donate the tower space to our organization for benefit of the community, given our scope of operation, emergency preparedness, and whatnot. So we're very grateful to them, and we want everyone to know that we are, in fact, grateful for their donation of the tower space. I don't have anything else to share at this time, but I try my best to update Facebook and our website with all important information as it happens, since we are an on-air and online only organization. We don't meet in person. So if you haven't already, just please like our Facebook page. That way you can get notifications of all updates as they happen. So with that said, I don't have anything else to share, so we'll move on to Jason, 237 in Waynesboro. How are you this evening, Jason?
Well, thank you. Pretty good. I missed the last two. Both times I was in my vehicle, but I'm remedying that. I got an antenna and I'm putting a radio in, so I'll have this in my car. So both times I was in the vehicle, I missed the that. But I was out today, on the bike ride most of the day, and then I went up to High Rock and made a couple contacts up there just to see how far I could get on the feeders, and it's insane how far you can get. So that was fun. Just got in, made it in time here for the net, but nothing really new and exciting happens here in Waynesboro. So that, I hope everyone has a great week. I'll be here listening, and next to you, sorry, my brain. WRTL 237.
Hey, all good. My brain half the time doesn't want to brain either, so no worries. But yeah, it's interesting you mentioned about driving up to High Rock just to test out the range that you can get from being up on the mountain. I've done that myself a couple times when I had my mobile in the car. I just recently bought a new SUV, and I don't have a mobile back in there yet, but I used to drive to High Rock, and I'd put the call out on the 2-meter national simplex calling frequency, and it was always amazing sometimes the distance you can achieve in the stations that would come back to you, and then also some repeaters you can't normally reach off the mountain. You're able to like full quiet them, so it's pretty fun to do. So yeah, I definitely relate to you with going up to High Rock. And then the other thing I do is sometimes I take my HF radio and I set it up at Penmar Park and do some POTA hunting, some parks on the air stations and whatnot. So yeah, so it's a good area to go up and play radio.
Yeah, me and another hand, we went up to Lookout. I think it's outside of Mercersburg, up at the very top. There's like antenna. It's a long drive you got to make, and we were up there for most of the day. And yeah, I called out on the national 2-meter, but nobody came back to me. But still, it's amazing up there. You feel so small. Like you can't believe how big the Earth is until you're up on a place like that. And you just look out you're looking miles and miles away. So yeah, it's hot. Next 2 days, it's supposed to be really hot. So I'm not sure what I'll do, but me and the wife we used to live in Hanover, so we're gonna get on the bike and ride over to Hanover and kind of go to some of our old little spots and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll be nice Wednesday. But anyway, yeah, okay. Well, I'll be on here for a while, but back to you.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I also seen that the National Weather Service put out a heat warning advisory. I think it starts Wednesday. If I'm mistaken, just correct me, but I believe it's Wednesday. I saw the heat index is supposed to be like 104. So yeah, definitely gonna be hot these next couple of days.
We'll have the wind in our face, but when we get stopped, yeah, that's when it starts beating down on you. But I'll tell you, after the winter I had freezing my tail off out there all winter, I want to be hot because I'm going to be doing it again this winter, so I want to remember, hot.
I'm never happy. I complain in the winter when it's freezing. I complain in the summer when it's blistering hot out. The only time I don't complain is usually in the fall and beginning spring. But speaking of your motorcycle, do you go to? I know Gettysburg Bike Week just ended. Did you have a chance to venture over for that?
I dedicated my summer to Friday, Saturday, and Sundays driving tractor trailer for George and Son. So they require, I knew that when I got hired on that I was specifically weekends. So it's kind of a trade-off. I missed it. I was out there. I've seen so many. I would have went, but, you know, I'm off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I get 4 days off. But then, unfortunately, when everybody else is having fun, I'm working. So, yeah, but at least I have 4 days, so I get a lot done. And pretty much, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is sort of like my Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I hear you. I used to, a job I used to work at, I used to work every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 12 hours. My own choice, but because most of the things I always had to do as far as like kids' appointments and whatnot was always during the week, and didn't really do a whole lot on the weekend, so that tended to work out a little better for me. But yeah, I got you with having to work every weekend. You do tend to miss out on a lot of events that are held on the weekend.
Yeah, but, you know, but yeah, it was a bummer. But I got my fill in today, so now I'm just sitting in here enjoying the radio, all things radio. So, well, all right, well, I won't tie it up. Back to you, WRTL 237.
All right, sounds good. Moving on to 875 Eric in Waynesboro. How are you this evening, Eric?
This is WSIY 875. Good evening, Derek, and everyone on the net. Derek, thanks for making the net happen tonight. I know I made the announcement as soon as I got the message through Facebook and Messenger. Also, you guys are mentioning POTA. You know, perhaps offline sometime we can talk a little bit about maybe a group event. Maybe we can all get together and get out and have some fun, either do some POTA hunting or activate a park. That would be a lot of fun. And I also missed the past 2 weeks of check-ins. I was down south for a while and picked up I finally decided I'm going to start scratching and messing around with mesh-tastic core, whatever you want to call it. So with that a little bit, if I can add some new things to my skills. So anyway, that's about it for me, other than consuming the world's largest taco salad, which was fantastic. So Derek, I'll get back to you. Thanks again for taking the time. SIY 875, back to net control.
Yeah, I was hoping you saw my message, and I really appreciate you putting the word out and letting everybody know the delay this evening for the net. I did have my handheld in the car, so I was able to copy it kind of in and out. I didn't attempt any transmissions because I knew I was going to be too far out to be able to make any useful transmissions. I had to take the boy down to Martinsburg to his mom, and we left a little late, so that's why I was late getting back into the area. So again, my apologies to everyone for the delay. And also, just to piggyback on what you just said about the mesh-tastic, that is something still in the works for our organization. With being up on the fire tower here in the very near future, I want to let the township know that we would like to put a node up there, and I think that would be a huge boost and benefit for the community as well, for anyone that likes to do mesh-tastic, or I'm not sure if it's going to be mesh-tastic or mesh core. I've been reading a lot of benefits about mesh core and some advantages over mesh-tastic. So, but I'd like to definitely get community input and get everyone's thoughts and feelings on which option or technology they feel would be best. But definitely for emergency preparedness and resilience, having an ability to send text messages with friends, family, and within the organization in the event of a cell tower down type situation during a disaster or other civil emergency would definitely, I think, be useful. So that's definitely going to be coming, and with that technology, of course, the more nodes, the better. But if we can get 1,800 feet and get a node up there, I think that would be pretty good coverage. And then the other thing is, too, I love your idea about the POTA group. I mean, that would be, I think that'd be a really fun time. And when I was up at the fire tower site, one thing I noticed is it's a pretty large-sized clearing in front of the fire tower, and I was thinking once we get our amateur radio club call sign, maybe we could even one day do our very first field day as an organization, and we'll see if the township would let us set up there. We can even, I mean, it'd be a perfect location to camp out overnight, and definitely be a test of our emergency preparedness with setting up the antennas and, you know, emergency power systems and whatnot. So good things for possibilities in the future. I got a lot of ideas, so hopefully we can bring them all to fruition here. So thank you for mentioning that and giving me the opportunity to put that out there. I wanted to mention, I totally forgot until you were saying about doing the POTA group in Mestastic. All right, moving on to 337 Mike, also in Waynesboro. Mike, do you have any comments for the group this evening? All right. Mike, if you're in there, just feel free to jump in. And if you were in and out, and my brain, like I said earlier, my brain doesn't always want to brain, and I forgot already. My apologies. And then Bob 753, I believe you were in and out as well. Is that right?
This is Mike. How do you copy now?
Hey, there you go. Got you coming in loud and clear, Mike. Go ahead.
Nothing to add right now, thank you.
All right, sounds good. And then you're on a handheld, is that right?
I'm here at the fire station, Virginia Avenue. They just advised me that they agreed to support you guys on their website.
Oh, great. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. We can definitely use all the support and getting the word out. And, yeah, also definitely pass the word along to everybody there if they're interested in joining or just becoming a part, getting their own radios. I mean, I think the more first responders we can have on the air and monitoring the channel, definitely a benefit for the community.
I agree.
All right, sounds good, Mike. Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. And then we'll do one more call for any late or missed check-in. So if there's anybody else in there wishing to check in, please call now. And then Bob 753, I didn't give you a chance to come back to me there. So if you're still in there, like I said, I couldn't remember if you were in and out, but I didn't want to skip over you if you had any comments.
Thank you, Derek. I just want you to know that I appreciate everything you do, and I'm sure the group does too, and I'm wishing everybody a happy night. Thank you.
This is WSCC, just dropping in to say hi. I haven't been on in a while.
All right, Bob, 753, yeah, thank you for that. Always appreciate your compliments there. The other station in there, can you just go with your first name and call sign again?
James, WSCC 478.
Oh, okay, James, yeah, I got you. Yep, got you checked in there. I recognize you now. How are you doing this evening?
Guys. Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. If I had to guess, you're also at the Virginia Avenue Fire Station with 337?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, lucky guess. All right, man, well, I appreciate you checking in there. Yeah, it has been a little while, but good to hear you on there. Glad you could join us this evening.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night.
All right, same to you. So hearing no more check-ins, we'll go, sorry, wrong part of the script. My bad. All right, with no other stations heard, we'll go ahead and start to close out the Neighborhood Readiness Net. Information about the organization, Blackskye Community Radio, can always be found online at bscra-pa.org and also via our Facebook page. As I aforementioned, if you're not a subscriber to our Facebook page, just venture on over there, hit that like button. That way you can get notifications for when changes are made or any new updates are posted. You'll find out right away. And then we also try and keep the website updated as well. And then we're also on Instagram. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who checked into the net this evening. And again, apologize for the delay getting things started tonight, but we got her done. So thank you. For your continued participation and support, we'll go ahead and close out the net at this time, and the repeater will be returned back to its normal operations. So again, this is WRWQ569. My name is Derek, and I'm operating from the north end of Waynesboro. So I hope everyone has a good evening and stay cool in the next coming days with the heat advisory. And I'll be clear the net and be monitoring for a bit.